We step into the signal tower, and the air itself feels ancient. Glowing symbols drift lazily through the vast space, like digital ghosts. Circuits hang suspended, broken and lifeless, and from shattered speakers, a faint, almost imperceptible static whispers secrets. Pico, my small, floating companion, hums with a somber energy. "This is it, Kael," it says, its synthesized voice unusually low. This is where the silence virus began. It killed sound, and all who spoke too much. My gaze drifts across the towering walls, covered in inscriptions. These aren't just random patterns, they're depictions of gods, beings sculpted from pure waveforms and sonic energy. My eyes land on one mural in particular. It shows a warrior, powerful and determined, shattering their own voices silent, explosive sacrifice to save the people behind them. Without thinking, I reach out and trace the lines of the warrior's face. An odd sense of familiarity washes over me, a connection I can't quite place. A pang of sorrow, a flicker of pride. It's a strange feeling to mourn a hero you've never known, yet feel like you understand their choice completely. I pull my hand back, shaking off the strange melancholy. We have a mission. The silence that suffocates this world must be broken. As we move deeper into the tower, the static from the broken speakers seems to grow, not in volume, but in intensity, as if the silence itself is becoming heavier, more present. The air grows cold, and the light from the floating symbols casts long, dancing shadows that seem to riff and twist at the edge of my vision. Something is wrong. Suddenly, the floor beneath my feet begins to tremble violently. Dust and debris rain down from the impossibly high ceiling. A deep, grinding groan echoes, not through the air, but through the very stone itself. A sound felt more than heard. From the deep shadows at the far end of the chamber, a colossal figure begins to rise. It's a monstrous machine, a twisted amalgamation of metal and forgotten technology. Hundreds of mouths, gaping and wide, cover its body, but none of them possess a voice. It is a monument to silence, a being of pure, unadulterated quiet. Pico shrieks, its voice trembling with digital fear. It's the guardian of noise. Kael, we have to run. The guardian's hollow optical sockets ignite with a malevolent red glow, fixing on me. One of its massive jaws creaks open, but instead of a roar, a blinding torrent of white static erupts, a visual scream that assaults the eyes. But I don't run. I can't. Running is what got us here. This time, I face the silence head-on. I draw my blade, its edge humming with contained energy. I plant my feet firmly on the trembling ground. This is a fight I was born for. The Guardian swings a massive chain, a wrecking ball of rusted metal, aimed straight for my head. I duck under it, the wind of its passage stirring my hair. It swings another, and I pivot, letting it crash into the floor where I stood a moment before. The impacts are completely silent, yet the force of them shakes the entire tower. I move between its attacks, a dance of perfect precision. It's all about timing, about seeing the attack before it's even fully formed. I leap onto a fallen pillar, using the momentum to launch myself forward, my blade slashing across a glowing weak point on the Guardian's arm. Sparks fly, but there's no sound of impact, only a flash of brilliant light. The Guardian recoils, not in pain, but in confusion. It doesn't understand resistance. It only understands the all-consuming quiet. It unleashes a storm of chains, a whirlwind of silent destruction. They whip through the air, and for a moment, I'm overwhelmed. One coils around my leg, another around my arm, pulling me off balance. I'm trapped. The Guardian begins to reel me in, its red eyes glowing with triumph. But I'm not done. With all my strength, I slam my sword point down into the ground. A shockwave of pure light erupts from the impact, a silent thunderclap that ripples through the chamber. The energy travels up the chains, forcing them to release me. The Guardian staggers back, disoriented by the sudden burst of energy. This is my chance. I sprint forward, using the dangling chains as a makeshift ladder. I run up its massive arm, my boots finding purchase on its metallic hide. With a final, desperate leap, I'm airborne, aiming for the core of its head. I drive my blade deep into its central processor. For a single, blinding moment, everything is white. A silent explosion of light and raw code washes over me. Then, as quickly as it began, it's over. The Guardian collapses, its red eyes fading to black. It crashes to the ground in a silent heap of broken metal and wires. A small data patch materializes where its head used to be, glowing softly. I reach out and absorb it. A new strength flows through me, a silent hum of power. The restored data flashes in my mind. Frequency, courage. I fall to one knee, panting, not from exhaustion, but from the sheer adrenaline, the fight was silent. But it took everything I had. Pico hovers beside me. It's like soft and comforting. You fight like silence itself, it whispers. I think the world hears you, Kael, even without a sound. I look up at my small companion and manage a faint, tired smile. Pico is right. A voice isn't the only way to be heard. My actions have their own resonance, their own echo. I get to my feet, my resolve hardened. The Guardian was just the beginning. We walk deeper into the tower, leaving the wreckage behind. The next chamber we enter is different. The air is still and heavy, but there's a strange beauty to it. Dozens, maybe hundreds, of glowing fragments of sound drift through the dim light, like fireflies in a twilight forest. These are the echoes, the last remnants of lost voices, trapped in time. As I walk among them, faint whispers brush against my mind, memories that aren't my own. Protect them, a voice pleads. Kael, don't. Another warns, cut off mid-sentence. Silence isn't the end. A third reassures. Each one is a tiny piece of a forgotten story, a life interrupted by the silence virus. Pico floats over to one of the fragments, scanning it with a beam of light. These are memories, it says, its voice filled with awe. They're fragments of people's last moments. But, Kael, these are your memories. I stop, frozen. My memories? That's impossible. I don't remember any of this. My heart begins to pound in my chest, a frantic, silent drum. My eyes, of their own accord, begin to tremble as I stare at the swirling lights. Suddenly, one of the fragments directly in front of me flares violently. It bursts open, not with a sound, but with a projection of holographic image that plays out in the air. It shows me, or a version of me. He's standing on a precipice, surrounded by swirling chaos, and he's screaming, a raw, silent, agonizing scream as he shatters his own voice, unleashing a wave of energy to stop the encroaching tide of the silence virus. He sacrifices himself, his voice, his very being, to save everyone else. Pico gasps, his light flickering in shock. The truth hangs in the air between us, undeniable and devastating. You caused it, Pico says, its voice barely a whisper. You unleashed the silence virus to save us all. The projection fades, leaving only the quiet hum of the echo vault. I close my eyes, the image burned into my mind. The silent scream, the sacrifice, the warrior from the mural. It was me. I don't deny it. I can't. The hero I was mourning was myself, and the silence I'm fighting to end is the one I started. My mission just became infinitely more personal. I am not just saving the world. I am seeking my own redemption.